Hello.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How you guys doing? You doing good? I'm doing good.
I think it's always
It's a new year.
I think it's very obvious when we haven't done video in a while.
Yeah, we don't know what to do. We have no idea what we're doing.
It's really awkward. But yes, Happy New Year. Happy 2025. We hope everyone had a happy holiday. And we had a 2024 wrap-up video. It was a short one on our channel that we put out like last week of December. And we shared all the things we accomplished in 2024. And we're really proud of that. We worked really hard to get to where we are. But now we are ready for 2025.
So we sat down, Christmas time, Christmas morning maybe, and said, okay, if we want to really make this happen, what is the next step? And the next step is really figuring out what we want the floor plan to look like.
Of our
barndominium. Yeah, so we wanted to figure out what the floor plan of the barndominium was going to look like. So we've been like throwing around numbers. Oh, we want to do, 1,200 square feet for a house and so many square feet for a shop. And, then we started looking at, we talked about, maybe we can do like a safe room or something like that. And kind of talked about different things and kind of went down a huge rabbit hole.
Giant rabbit hole.
Like safe rooms and like tornado shelters and all that stuff. So
and Pahrump doesn't have tornadoes.
No.
So
but just like again went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So we said, okay, let's sit down and let's really look at floor plans and kind of get an idea of what we want. So there's a company that we follow on YouTube, 1845 Barndominium. You can buy plans from them that kind of give you really in-depth measurements of everything. And then from there, you can kind of customize if you want to. And then kind of work with them to get a more customized floor plan of exactly what you want. And then they'll actually make the kit for you as well, give you pricing, do the whole external kit. So we're like, okay, let's sit down and let's talk about this a little bit. We've watched a lot of their videos and saw what we liked, what we didn't like. I downloaded the actual plans. So they were having a sale, so they're half price. Downloaded them, they were $20 a piece. Just gives you really in-depth plans of measurements for everything and how everything's laid out. So we knew there were two models that we kind of decided that we want to kind of do a hybrid of the two together. So what was the house that we were going to, the home portion, what was that going to be?
The Raven.
We did want to make some adjustments to it. Well, first off, the layout of like the shop on the left versus the shop on the right. So I think I think both models had the shop on the left. We talked about doing it on the right. But we looked at it also and said, well, there was a 2-bed, 2-bath. And we didn't really need 2 full bathrooms. It's just going to be us. So we wanted to modify that a little bit and do like a half bath and kind of make some arrangements on maybe make a bigger closet. And then the mechanical room was inside the house. And we were like, well, we can put that in the shop. So we have some ideas of what we want to do with the house. And then for the shop, what was the name of the floor plan?
I believe it was Goosebumps. At least that's what we pulled from the video. Yeah. And then that's what the plan was, I think.
Yeah. So Goosebumps is made where you have your shop and then there's a, off to the side of it, there's a carport. And it's all in the same continuous roof line. So, but behind, so it was about 30 feet of depth for the RV carport. And then behind that, there's actually an office that's inside the building. So it's kind of like almost like a little L. So we're like, oh, that would be perfect because I want space for myself because I'm probably still going to be working. So, or a little shop or a little workspace other than the shop itself. So we're like, oh, okay, great. We can do that. We wanted to put a bathroom out there as well. So
yeah, like a half bath.
Yeah. We came up with the idea. It was like, okay, what if we add on to make that a little bit longer, make the depth a little bit more, and then we can add in our safe room and our bathroom and do the office, and it won't affect the size of the shop. And then the mechanical room can go out there because the mechanical room is actually going to be smaller because we're not going to have a big water tank.
Right.
We're not going to have like all the stuff that's typically in there and HVAC and all that stuff. We're probably going to do all that stuff. We're probably going to do like mini splits, and we're probably going to do tankless water heater, so stuff like that. So we've gotten that far.
And I don't know if you were already going to say this, but what Lou did that was really helpful is he was able to download the plans for both, for Goosebumps and the Raven. And then he did this magical little thing in software where he kind of combined the two floor plans together. So taking the Raven house, which the square footage was between 1,200 and 1,300. And then as it is in the plans, and then the shop is about 1,700, 1,800, which is about what it would be. So then he took those two, and then he actually, you made some little magic, like how we'd want a half bath, where we'd want that placed in the house.
I think I use Snagit, which I use for work, for cutting and pasting, and just kind of like grab pictures and spun stuff and put it in different places to get a little bit of an idea of what we're looking for. So, real simple the way we want to do it, but when we looked at the plans and said, okay, well, the Raven is a little bit like wider and not as deep, but it has a porch off the back. And then we said, well, the Goosebumps had one, but it was not as deep. So like kind of stuff like that is what we really need to sit down with 1845 and kind of really figure out. But at least we have a start, and we're hoping that we can take that to them and say, okay, here's kind of what we want, and then get everything formalized. And then from there, we can work with them to get a price for a kit.
Yep.
And then figure out what shipping for the kit would be, and then, find a contractor, and then start the process of, doing the ground survey, getting our concrete poured.
I think it's very typical, like, to talk about it. It sounds very, very overwhelming, but everything we accomplished last year, when we started to talk about it this time last year, felt very, very overwhelming. So you just kind of do one step at a time, and I think kind of getting the visual of what we want is a really good first step. I'm looking forward to contacting 1845 and seeing what they can do, and it's also helpful to get the estimate up front to know what that cost looks like so that we can plan accordingly living here in Vegas when it's time to sell the house and what finances look like, because we are trying to do this mortgage free.
We still have to get our own contractor. We've been kind of researching that a little bit, talking to some people in Pahrump forum boards and stuff like that have had Barndos built. So the idea would be, when we're ready, get this house sold, go buy a camper that we can live in, because we know we're going to live in that while the house is going to be built, and then have them, start building. Start breaking ground, doing whatever we got to do till we get to the point where the shell is built, and then kind of figure out: are we doing the inside ourselves? Are we hiring out? Are we hiring out but maybe doing some of the work ourselves? Like just trying to figure all that stuff out.
And we'll figure that out the closer we get to it. So
the goal for 2025 is to get our plans
and get the hell out of here.
It's true. Get our plans set. Work with, maybe find a contractor to get permitting. Get this house sold.
Yes.
And then once we have a permit, we can legally live on our land for 6 months while it's being built, and then you can just go for extensions. So. My understanding is every 6 months you can ask for an extension as long as it's being built.
Yeah, as long as it's actively.
At that point.
Yeah, as long as there's actively work being done, which is really good to know that they give you that leniency. So so we have a lot coming up that we'll be sharing in our 2025 year on this journey. We'll even take you camper shopping with us when we get to that point. When we start
which we've already started a little bit.
We have.
We've kind of done a little bit of that as well to get some ideas of what we're looking for. We might be doing some wandering.
We might.
This year, which we haven't done in a while.
It's exciting.
Typically our wandering was we were off-roading with our Jeep, which everybody knows. If you follow us, we got rid of the Jeep. But we are talking about going back east to visit family. We're like, maybe we'll road trip it.
Yeah.
You know what? We have our camper. Why not? Why not take a road trip and just take the cat with us and travel cross country and spend some time with family and work, go on the road, and kind of go from there.
And it's one of the things we've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's a serious consideration for
Yep.
this year. So we got a lot of things on the agenda. We will be back in Pahrump this weekend coming up.
Yep. We got another camera, another trail camera.
Mm-hmm.
This one actually has live video on it. So we were going to get those mounted a little bit better than what we have right now. We know we want to start getting some of the solar set
Yeah,
up.
that's important.
So we want to get that because as the weather gets warmer, we want to have our water pump dropped in.
But that's the latest, greatest update as to the direction we're moving for 2025 with our land in Pahrump and our plans for being permanent residents. And I think that just about wraps it up.
You know, one thing, if there's anyone like in the area that's used a contractor
Yeah.
for building, that you could recommend a general contractor, that would be great.
Yes.
Leave in the comment. Like so far, for everything that we've used, has all been word of mouth.
Yeah.
The fence, the well, the septic. So if you guys have anybody you can recommend, please let us know.
Yeah, leave it down in the comments. We will
you know, we
definitely
want
pay
to-
attention.
Yeah, we want to get someone that's going to be reliable to get everything built for us.
Yep. And we'll have some links below to 1845 Barndominium. And you can check them out for yourself as well. This is not sponsored, by the way. We are
No.
just really big fans.
We kind of like the quality.
So that's it. That's all. Happy 2025, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Here's to a good new year.
a good new year. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.